Good morning,
Hey,
Phil.
good morning. I was in and knocked out, but I came back in again. Okay.
23rd of June, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay. I guess we surprised Roy. We got here early. Okay, so we're up to the same place that I wanted to start from yesterday, but it's good that we did that. We're in a better place now. So okay, so now we're up to Tikatani Brisa.
E Katani Brisa. But when the Brisa teaches, Af al pi shenei hem modim, even though both parties agree, lo yachazir lo lezeh velo lezeh. We still do not return it, not to either party, not to the beneficiary, and not to the author. Bivare, bivari. It refers to the gift of a healthy person. Dilav bar mi hader. Who? Because under the law, the benefactor cannot retract his gift, and consequently, returning the document enables him to perpetrate a fraud.
Right.
I don't get it.
Our chashash over here.
What are we
That
afraid
somebody's
of?
going to get cheated.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow that.
Right now, the Gemara is going to lay out what's the case that we're worried about that could end up causing a loss to the true recipient.
I see. To Amrinan, for we say, Dilma Kisava Lihai Meikara. Maybe the benefactor first wrote this to this person.
Jew number one, we'll call him.
Right. Ve'im lich velo yachava le. Then he reconsidered and didn't give it to him. V'hadar kasva le'inish acharina. Then he went back and he wrote Jew number V Chavle, and he gave it to him. So now Jew number 2 has a document of a gift, and Jew number 1 does not have a document. The benefactor has a document that is dated earlier than the one that Jew number 2 has. Hashta ka hader be mehahu di hava le. Now, here's what we're worried about. The benefactor now wants to retract that he gave to Jew number 2. So he can't do that. He cannot legally retract. So what does he do? he's going to try and do it anyway. The Savar, he thinks, the benefactor thinks, Bi Hadar Lo Matsina Chadarna B. Since I am unable to retract legally, Ema Lahu, I will tell the court, yeah, Lahai Yehavta, that I gave this first document to its beneficiary at the time I wrote it. Vini Hadru Ni Hale Bitsava Kisava, and they will therefore return the document to him. Ki hachi dechi mapek hai kisakadim dikadayim. This way, when he produces the document, which is dated earlier than the one for person number 2, Zacha Behu, he will win. Because the court will say the first document was valid and you're not allowed to retract it. So the second document's irrelevant. Fraud.
Number 1. He never gave it to Jew number 1. So now in the scenario that we have, when even if both the Jew number 1 and the benefactor agree that he's entitled to the shtar, that's a fraud. It's not true, because that document is worthless. And why is it so in this case? Because the whole difference between the matnas bori and the matnas shchiv meira is because here we have a matnas bori. This is a gift of a person who's healthy. And so when he decides to give the gift and he actually gives the document to Jew number 2, that's it. He can't change his mind. Can't change his mind. It's a done deal. The gift is given to Jew number 2, and even if the benefactor is going to say, yeah, I intended to give it to I gave it to Jew number 1. First of all, that's a lie. He never gave it to Jew number 1. He changed his mind and didn't give it to Jew number 1, even though he had it written up. So even if both Jew number 1 and the benefactor agree that the benefactor gave to Jew number 1, that's a fraud, which is not the case with the matnas shchiv meira, because the matnas shchiv meira, the way that it works like a will. It works like a will. It only takes effect. It only takes effect, so to speak, after. So in between that time that he is sick and the time that he actually does pass away, so he could change his mind and give the gift to somebody else. He could change his mind and give it to somebody else. That's not fraud. That means that he changed his mind, because he has a right to change his mind, to give it to somebody else. So therefore, if we would give the document back to Jew number 1, in the case of the matnas shchiv meira, he's not going to be able to defraud the Jew number 2, because we're going to say, yeah, the latest document is the one that he ultimately decided to give it to. So it's not gonna be of any avail if we return the document number one to Jew number one in the case of the Matnas Chimera. He's not going to be able to fraud anybody with that document anyway. The Beis Din is going to rule in favor of Jew number two because he has the later document. Okay, so
why don't we give the document back, give the document to Jew number one, and let the two, Jew number one and Jew number two, let them both go to court, each with his document, and the court can figure out what happened, can see that one document is dated later than the other one, and deduce that the benefactor must have written the second document after the document, and therefore he never gave the first document.
Can't do that.
well, the thing is like this. The thing is like this. Might conclude that Jew number one, he's the one that got the document because that's what the benefactor says. He gave it to him originally, which is a lie. But in any case, if they might decide that the story took the real story was that he actually did give the document Jew number one, and really Jew number one is entitled to the gift, and then the benefactor changed his mind after he's not allowed to change his mind now, and he tried to give a document to Jew number two to get Jew number two to get the gift, but the Beis Din will say, it doesn't. We can't allow that. We're going to give it to Jew number one. So the Beis Din could be fooled. Unless they unless we have evidence that the document was never given to Jew number one originally. But that's the thing. It's hard to have evidence like that. How could witnesses say how could they come into Beis Din never gave this document to Jew number one? We camped out by his house and we followed him everywhere he went for 2 months, and we know that in that period of time he never gave the document to Jew number one. Nobody can testify to something like that. You can't testify to something did not happen.
Right. Good point.
Okay, so
this star was Hamnimtza found Matnas buried. It was found to be a gift of a healthy person, Shehu Zocher, that he would merit this lishtar with the star hamucher of a later one to him. She'enu yichol lachzor b'manot. He can't go back. He can't go back on his gift.
He would be zocher l'shtar hamaucher lo she'enu yochel lachzor b'matnosei. Yeah. Okay, that's more or less like what we said. Oh yeah, because right now Rashi's explaining the case of the Matnas Bori. If the first document that was given was a Matnas Bori. The Yahava in Shakrina Leislip Seda. Kodem Shtar Zochi. Let's see, where is that in the Gemora? I don't know. I don't see this language. I don't see this exact language in the Gemara. Okay. Let's go to the Rashi Diramaska Debar Mahadarhu. That's the.
Wait a second. That's not where we were up. That's much further down. The Bar Mahadar. There are a few Rashis before that. Want me to skip to that Rashi?
Yeah.
The Bar Mahadar. He's someone who has to return it. Mimatnas, from this gift, Im Chazerbo, after there will be go out two starry, the base did Yizacher Harishom. The first one is considered the one that merits it.
Achron is Yiska Achron.
Again, it was Achron. I missed that. Wait a second. Maybe I skipped the line here. Wait a second. The Yiska Achron. Yeah, the later one does it. Yeah. So the later one gets
this is
2 stars. It's basically, but the question is, it's saying he's fracted the first one, so the second one's the one that counts.
Right. Since right, that's what we said in the case of the Matnas Shchivmera. In a matana of a Shchivmera, somebody who's very ill, we say about that star is a Bar Mahadarhu. Meaning to say that another star could be written after that one. And the Rashi is saying that if the 2 stars would come into court, the latter one would be the one that would win the day, because that mind and decide when if the benefactor says give it back, give it to the recipient. So we listen to him. We give it to him. Why do we give it to him? Because it won't end up the person who's holding the later dated gift document is that's gonna be the document that's gonna win the day. That's what Rashi's saying over there. Okay. Okay, so I think we can go weiter now in the Gemora.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're going to go further in the Gemora now. Ki heche de ki mapik hai gesava de kodim. The kodim zochabe hu. Did we finish? Did we finish up to there? How far did we read from the Hashta? Hashtag Kamahader Be Mehahut Diahava. Now the benefactor what's he saying? You can't change your mind after. So what does he say? Emer Lahu. He says to them, meaning the benefactor is in Besdin, and he says to the Besdin the following tall tale. The Ana Lahai Yahavta. I gave over this star that was found in the Shuk to this first fellow, Jew number one, which is a lie. He never gave it to him. He changed his mind even before he gave it to him, and he never gave it to him. So we're that he's going to do that, I guess. Unahadru nahale kasava. And with that, the Besdin is the Besdin could make a mistake and believe this benefactor and give it to Jew number one. Give him this star. So the benefactor says, that's what I'm going to do. Kasava the kadambe zochabehu, because he realizes, the benefactor, that in this scenario, that first document is not a matnas bori. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not a matnas shchimira, but it is a matnas bori, and therefore that's what the Gemora is saying here. Zochabe, the one that gives the document, which is the earlier dated document, he's going to be the one that's going to carry the day, because the Besdin is going to, if they don't see that the wool is being pulled over their eyes, they're going to say, oh, look, Jew number one, he's got the earlier document. It must be that what happened is that the benefactor gave it to Jew number one, and it really belongs to Jew number one. And then afterwards he changed his mind, and he tried to get Jew number two to because that's who he wanted to give it to, but he's not allowed to change his mind. So really, we're going to award the gift to Jew number one, and that would be a big mistake.
Isn't this exactly what I said a few minutes ago?
Yeah, that's what the Gemora says.
But
this is the plan. This is the plan of the benefactor. The benefactor is going in cahoots with Jew number one to defraud the Jew number two.
Oh.
See, unless the document now has been found and it's now in the possession of the Besdin. The Besdin wants to know who they should, if they should, and who should they return the document to.
Right, and one
So
and
if
Jew
this,
number one and the benefactor both say give it to Jew number one, but they're in cahoots, so that's not significant.
I mean, you're right. It is a bit of a. In other words, we're suspecting that this benefactor is going to lie through his teeth. Why should we
Right.
suspect that? I don't know. I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. I would think that they would need to have two witnesses. I would say, how do we know that you say that you gave it to Jew number one, but how do we know that you gave it to Jew number one on this date that it's written over here? Do you have any witnesses that you could bring that will testify that they saw that you gave the document to Jew number one on the date that it's written on this star? Why don't they say that? Why are they believing this guy? He might be lying. I don't know. But in any case, right, the halacha is, we have to remember what the halacha is, right? What's the halacha? The halacha is that in this exact case, we don't give it back to Jew number one. That's the halacha. We don't give it back. That's what the Brisa is telling us. That's good. That's the correct. That makes a lot of sense to not give it back to Jew number one. Any proof of what he says. If he doesn't have any proof of what he says, then that's it. You got to have proof of what you say. He doesn't have any proof that he gave it to Jew number one on the day that it says in the star. How do we know that he gave it to him?
So we're saying Hamotzi Chaviro Alav Haraya?
Well, the Gemora is not saying Hamotzi Mechaber Alav. The Gemora seems to be saying the Gemara seems to be recounting over here that they're going to go in cahoots, these two. But I don't know why it has to be that's the reason why we don't give it back to Jew number one. We don't give it back to Jew number one because we don't have any proof that the benefactor ever gave it to him.
Right, but why do we need proof? Only because Chaver Alav Haraya, right? Because number two could also be the one that's lying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Who has proof that does he have proof that the benefactor gave it to him? I don't know. It's a good question. But we don't. I mean, he's holding it in his hand, right? That's a different story. If Jew number two is holding the document in his hand, he's got a right to be believed.
Rabbi Levitt,
He's frozen.
and so is Lou, I think.
I'm not
No,
frozen.
I'm not frozen, and you're not frozen. Okay, so
No, you were frozen for a bit. Are we talking about a very sick benefactor?
No, this is a bari.
Oh,
This is a healthy.
what happened to the rabbi? He's gone.
Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back probably.
Yeah.
This is the bari case. This is the healthy person case.
Right. Okay. Mm. I wonder if you could say that he could be lying because there could be something in it for him if it goes to Jew number one. Could be. Oh, wait a minute. Hmm.
Well, both Jew number 2 and Jew number 1 have something to gain.
Yeah.
So either of them could be lying.
Mm-hmm.
We lost people.
Yeah, I think time is up, Phil.
Almost.
We've got
That's
2 more minutes.
It's,
3
you got
minutes.
2 minutes and the rabbi's gone. Okay. So we'll pick up tomorrow, I guess, because we really have to figure out the healthy person and the sick person. Okay, it's late enough by the time he gets back on. It'll be over. Take care, be well, stay safe, everybody. By the way, did you hear the siren today? Because I did not.
Yeah. We had a
Yes,
siren early in the morning.
You got a siren.
there was a
No,
siren.
it wasn't a siren.
There was for me. For me
Well,
and
I got the on my phone. I got
what?
yeah. I did not get the siren. I got a warning that there might be a siren, but I never heard a siren.
Right, that's the same here. We got the warning as well, but not
I
the
got
actual
The warning, but not the
siren.
siren.
No.
I got both the warning and the siren.
Oh,
Okay, so who knows what happened with the siren anyway? But it fell in different areas anyway. Okay, be well. My son got the siren. My son did get the siren in Beit Shemesh.
He
hmm.
did or didn't?
He did get it in Beit Shemesh. In fact, there was one time earlier in the week that there was warnings. Yeah, I don't know if you know the way to Beit Shemesh. It's right that it's not far from Route 38. You take it down to Beit Shemesh, like where the
Yeah.
cemetery is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the IKEA is on the other side of Route 38 got it. And their side of Route 38 did not get it.
Oh,
Wow, that's interesting.
it's cutting it fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Where? By the IKEA and all that area. Okay, take care, be well, have a good day. Hopefully tomorrow we'll work better.
Okay,
We'll be safer.
Thank
And not get up.
Oh, man. Okay, thank you.
Take care.
All right, now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We just were saying that time is up anyway. So everybody's leaving. So Mr. Hashem, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Kol Tuv.
All right.
All right. That was Rabbi Levitt calling. Class is over for today.
Okay, thank you. Bye for now.
Have a good day.
You too. You too. Bye.